A very good morning to everyone. Today, ma'am is going to teach you a nice poem. And this poem is from your Magic Lantern. The title of this poem is An Irish Airman Foresees His Death. And this poem is written by an Irish poet, that is William Butler Yeats. Okay, children, before I talk more about this poem, just pay attention on its title. It is An Irish Airman Foresees His Death. As the title has a reflection of its content, means by reading the title you can get the idea what exactly is that content about. So this title, An Irish Airman Foresees His Death, gives us the idea what is this poem about. This airman, this airman means the fighter or the pilot of a fighter plane. So he is Irish. Irish is what? The native of Ireland. It is same as like the people living in Britain are British. The people living in Scotland are Scottish. So the people or the native of Ireland are Irish here. And what is this foresees? Foresees means predict or envisages, or he gets an idea that what is going to happen in future. Means when you have such premonitions, such intentions that something is going to happen. So this sense is known as foresees. So here this Irish airman foresees his death, means he here the person is in a battlefield, and he comes to know that he is going to die. So what thoughts are going on inside his mind, means what kind of emotions he is undergoing. So this poem is all about that basically, children. This poem, An Irish Airman Foresees His Death, is an elegy written by William Butler Yeats for one of his friend's son. His name was Major Robert Grigore, and his son was an Irish pilot, and he was shot dead in the First World War. So basically, East has dedicated this poem to Major Robert Grigore only. So in this poem, he has cleared out that what are the circumstances, what are the conclusions a war has, and what basically uh, a pilot who is going to meet his death is undergoing. Fine. So before we proceed and discuss more about this poem, just take a reading. Okay, we are only going to read it once. So let's enjoy this poem. I know that I shall meet my fate somewhere among the clouds above. Those that I fight, I don't hate. Those that I guard, I don't love. My country is kilted and cross. My countrymen kilted and poor. No likely end could bring them loss or leave them happier than before. Nor law nor duty bade me fight, nor public man, nor angry crowds. A lonely impulse of delight drove to this tumult in the clouds. I balanced all, brought all the mind. The years to come seemed waste of breath. A waste of breath, the years behind, in balance with this life, this death. So you must have got an idea, children. This poem is about a pilot who is in a fighter plane, and he envisages his death, maybe in some seconds or some minutes or in few days he's going to die. So now he has a series of questions in his mind. Okay, that why he is there, who is he, What are the things around him? What were the circumstances that forced him to fight at that battlefield? Okay, so before I go for the explanation, just take a glance at William Butler's style of writing. Okay, children. So W.B. Yeats, who is William Butler Yeats, was born on 13th June 1865 in Ireland, and he was not only an Irish poet or dramatist or writer, but also one of the foremost figures of 20th century. He was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1923 for his valuable contribution to the English and Irish literature. Children East spent his childhood in Sligo. It is a beautiful country on the west coast of Ireland, and East was actively involved in politics and was appointed as a member to the first Irish Senate also. What is the meaning of Senate? You can sense it as a parliament. Means as we have a parliament in our country, same as in old time, in ancient time, Rome has the Senate, where the legislative members or the councillors used to sit in different houses, and they used to help in forming the rules and regulations for the country, and work on its implementation and all. Okay, so this poem, the poem that we are going to read, what is the title of it? An Irish Airman foresees his death. This poem is considered East's most explicit statement about the futility of the First World War. Okay, this poem was written in 1918 and was first published in 1999. Okay, so here he has talked about the futility of the First World War and the senseless, countless death of the young man. The other remarkable work of East are the Second Coming and A Vision, the swans at Cool, etc. East died on 28 January 1939 in France. Now it's time for explanation. You all can follow me in your book. Okay, so children, this poem is basically composed of four quatrain. Four quatrain means it has four stanzas, and each stanza carries four lines. So altogether it is 16 lines. It is going to complete 16 lines. Overall, if we talk about the tone, as I told you, it is an elegy that has been written to memorize Major Robert Grigore, who lost his life in the First World War. He was also an Irish pilot only. Okay, and if I talk about its tone, so when you read this poem, so you come to know that it conveys a sense of apathy, because as he foresees his death and is not affected by the consequences of the wars, so his tone is detached. Okay, he is not at all means he is in a dilemma, as well as enjoying that moment first. So let's go for the reading. Okay, children, can you tell me that if a person wants to express his or show his patriotism for his country, so is it necessary to fight for it in a war? Only then we can show our dedication for our country, our love for our country. Eh, no, this is not the way. A person can serve for his country in many different ways, or you can say that person who dies in war, that is fought from his countryside, is not always a symbol of patriotism. Means just think about the people who are forced to fight in a war for other countries. Here, this fighter, airman, is also in the same kind of situation. He says that I know that I shall meet my fate. What is fate here? The fate means the luck or the destiny. But here, according to the poet, fate means death. So I know that I shall meet my fate. The airman is saying, the fighter the pilot who is in the fighter plane, he's saying that I know I'm going to die. I'm going to meet my death somewhere among the clouds above. And where will he meet to his death? In the sky, somewhere in the sky. Those that I fight, I don't hate. Those that I got, I don't love. Now, here, children, uh, the the speaker start asking fundamental questions to himself. Means when he is at the last moment of his life, when he is sure that he is going to die, so this is very normal that the person start recounting his whole life, his entire life. So the same thing that speaker is doing, what he is saying, that he is asking a question to himself, that those that I fight, I don't hate. Means the people who is fighting to, does he hate to them? Have they done anything wrong to him? Miss, why he is killing them? Is there any reason behind that I am killing them? I am fighting with them. Those that I guard, I don't love. And parallel to it, again he is asking, and the people who for whom I am fighting here, or the people I am guarding here, do I love them? Do I know them? Had I ever done anything good to them, or they have ever done anything good to them, that because of that love, I am standing here and fighting on that enemy territory? Why I am in this battlefield? Why I am fighting with some of the people and guarding the others? So he is asking such questions to himself. My country is Kilterton Cross. My countrymen Kilterton's poor, no likely and could bring them loss or leave them happier than before. Now, what he is saying, that speaker belongs to Kilterton Cross. Kilterton Cross is a country in Ireland. So he is saying that my country is that Kilterton Cross, and my people, my countrymen are Kilterton's poor. Here, the poet has used the word poor because the time when he has written this poem, at that time the Ireland was under British rule. Okay, so somewhere they were also facing the same atrocity that was faced by the other slavery countries, other slaved countries. Okay, the countries those who were under British rule. So that's why he is saying that I here I am fighting for the people of Great Britain. So I don't have to take anything. No likely end could bring them loss. Means in case if we are going to lose this battle, we are going to be defeated, then only it is not going to uh, affect the people of Kilterton Cross, because the speaker's country is Kilterton Cross. He has nothing to take with the Great Britain. So he's saying that whether they win or lose, it is not going to make any loss or profit to the people of his country, or leave them happier than before. Means in case if they are going to face victory, then also they are not going to get any benefit of this victory. Nor law nor duty bade me fight, nor public men nor cheering crowds. A lonely impulse of delight drove to this tumult in the clouds. Now, what is he saying? Now, again, he is saying that who am I? Why I am here? So, what he is saying that nor law nor duty bade me fight. You think why I am fighting here? Means, had anyone forced me to fight, or had I been compelled by anyone to be here? Why I am fighting? Not public man. Means not public man means neither I have been encouraged by any politician to do this work, not cheering crowds. Not cheering crowds means nor he is going to get any glory or honor in return of this victory. So why he is fighting there? Why he is in a fighter plane? A lonely impulse of delight. Now, children, this is the punchline of this poem. A lonely impulse of delight. Because this line carries the whole, extract of this poem. The purpose behind writing this poem is just to just to punch this line. A lonely impulse of delight. Okay, let's try to understand it. What is it? See, children, when you were a kid, and suppose you have seen a plane flying in the sky, so you must have a curiosity to know that what is it. As you were a small kid, you had no knowledge about it, what is it, or for which purpose it is used. So you must have asked your mama, what is it? So how she would have explained you that, oh, it's a plane, flies high in the sky, it is used to cover long distances in the seconds, and it flies like zoom 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 zoom. So her style of clearing you out that what exactly it is, her description must have given the birth to a desire in your heart that, okay, when I grow I will be a pilot. Okay, and when in my future I will also have a fighter plane like this, and I will alone fly it without anyone's sharing. So the same thing the speaker, the poet is sharing here. A lonely impulse of delight means just because of that single inclination, that lonely inclination, that single love, the only love for flying the planes. He is there. He is in that battlefield and drove to this tumult in the clouds. And that is why today he is in this dilemma. He is puzzled. He is asking these series of fundamental questions, that why he is there, for whom he is there, who are the people for whom he is fighting. Okay, so such questions he is asking to himself. Now look at the fourth stanza. I balanced all, brought all to mind. The years to come seemed waste of breath. A waste of breath, the years behind, in balance with this life, this death. Now, what he is saying? He is saying that I balanced all, brought all to mind. The years to come seemed waste of breath, a waste of breath the years behind. Now, the poet, in the last moment of his life, the poet has started recounting his past. How was his life? He belongs to a small country where the people live with serenity and simplicity. They get up early, they go for their livelihood, come back to their family in the evening. They don't have any fantasy, any luxury in their life. They have never done anything special, anything as such that is remarkable. Okay, so he finds his life so simple, so common. Means there is no as such that would make his life a fruitful or worthy life. Okay, so he is saying that somewhere his life, his entire life, whatever he passed, is pointless. There is nothing as such that would make him special or remarkable. So now he is comparing his life with the death. We see saying that this death is also meaningless. This death is also pointless. it, so somewhere this death is going to balance his life. Means that at that moment the speaker, that airman, is not at all scared. He is enjoying that moment because here the poet has shown a positivity in airman's view. What he is saying, that I must believe in this present and I must try to enjoy it fullest. He is not at all scared of. He is comparing that death fruitful. He's saying that this death is going to make my life worthy. And that is why he is not disappointed. He is not at all scared of. Okay? So, uh, what exactly is the poet's purpose behind writing this poem? He's saying that the death is not feared by those who have lost hope in humanity's future. Okay? Now, so overall, children, this poem is written as a dramatic monologue. What is the meaning of monologue? Monologue is a long speech. What is monologue? Monologue is a long speech spoken by one person, single person, in a play or a drama, or whether you can say in a conversation. Okay, so as you can see that this whole poem is in the context of a single airman, and each line is connected. Okay, the whole poem is carrying the same message, same process. It is in a continuity. So that is why this poem is written as a dramatic monologue. The speaker, the Irish airman, is fighting in the First World War, and he declares that he knows he is going to die. So the airman is indifferent. Indifferent means he is not at all affected to the war, as he knows that his country, what is the name of his country? Curtain is neither going to gain or not going to lose from this battle. Whether they win this battle or going to lose, it is not going to affect to the countrymen of his motherland. What is the name of his motherland? That is Kilturtle. Okay, so he is fighting in the war not out of the sense of any duty or patriotism. He is saying that I am here not for my own country, I am here just because of the sense. What is that sense? That sense is a lonely impulse of delight. Further, he is saying that neither he has been encouraged by any politician nor going to get any honor in the return of it. And he is in the war because of the impulse desire to be alone. To be alone means he had a desire, an ambition to fly the fighter plane alone in the sky. And just to fulfill that desire, he is there in that war. He as he wanted to be cut off or others, he wanted to be alone. Means neither he is expecting any other fighter plane around him. Okay, he just wanted to be alone in the sky, and that is why he is not scared of. He knows that he is going to die, but he is not afraid. He thinks that his life has been of much value. Hence, his death will only serve to balance this. And that is why he is saying that, okay, as his life was not that much of value, that his life has not, well, his life was not that much important for others. So, somewhere the death is also not going to be marked by. Now, let's talk about the theme of the poem. What is the main idea behind writing this poem? Okay, so basically, as the title reflects, that the title is about an Irish airman. So, somewhere it is related to patriotism, death, and warfare. I told you that airman was not because of any sense of duty or the patriotism in that war, but it is connected to the patriotism somewhere. How is it, children? See, it is a patriotic poem, but not in a very local way in sense that directly we can't call the speaker, that airman, a patriotic. The poet doesn't love those he protects. Whom he is protecting here? The people of Great Britain. So his loyalty is not with them. He is an Irish, and his country is Kitterton Cross, that is in Ireland. So his real loyalty is to his small country, that is in Ireland. So somewhere he is patriotic. He is patriotic for his own country, but not for the people for whom he is fighting there or protecting. Okay, that is why it is said that this poem is a patriotic poem, but not in a very local way. Okay, now the second theme, that second idea that is introduced by this poem is death. Children, this death word, as death word is used in the title of this poem, that an Irish airman foresees is death. So we expect that death to be the one of the major theme of this poem. See, he knows that he will die in that battle, and yet he is not sweat in it. He is not at all scared of it. Even at the end of the day, he is content. At least his future won't be a waste of breath, just like his past was. See, the poet, the speaker, not the poet, the speaker, when he when he is sure about his death, so he is not at all disappointed. He is not nervous. He is taking death as a reward to him, a reward that is going to balance his life with the death. He is taking it as a merit for him. It is not a matter of scare for him. He is saying that this death is going to make his life worthy. It is going to bring a fame, a value to his life. Okay, so that is why death is also a part of theme of this poem. Now let's talk about the warfare. So warfare is quite clear, as we can see the poem uses the word like airman, death. uh, so these words are the part of the poem, which means to get the idea that this poem is about war, but directly this war word is not used in the poem, though there is no crazy battle scene or the bullets whizzing through the air or the gruesome battlefield or the graveyards, but war is portrayed definitely here, and it is portrayed in a very quiet manner. Like the selection of word is very rare, like the in the instead of using a dirty scene, the speaker has referred the words like a fight, guard, cheerful crowd. So that seems supportive of war effort. Means he has not selected the words like that portrayed a dirty secret. That means the speaker doesn't want to mention that dirty secret that portrays the gruesome battlefield, but he has tried to paint a picture of war that is not scary. Means that, so he has basically tried to um, paint a picture, a portrait that show the positive part of a theme. Okay, so I hope you must have enjoyed this poem, would like to read it, and will try to read it again, children. Okay, I want you all to read it. And as far as the book exercises are concerned, so that we will solve in our next period. That's clear? So that's all for today's class, children. Take a good care of yourself. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.